Hi, I'm Mark and today I'm going to be reviewing the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus by sharing the 5 things I love about it and the 5 things I hate about it. Now, I wouldn't ordinarily use terms as drastic as love and hate because, to be honest, there's so few things to hate about this phone. But on the plus side, doing my review this way has forced me to not sit on the fence about things that I'm slightly underwhelmed with. So sit back and prepare yourselves for a brutally honest review of the S10 Plus. So the first thing I love about the S10 Plus is probably no surprise. It's the in-display ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. What can I say? It's a nice touch. Having the scanner in display is such an improvement compared to it being on the back as it was in previous models. And that's not just because you remove the physical requirement for a fingerprint scanner entirely. It also means that the placement of the scanner is now slap bang right in the middle of that zone where your finger or thumb will always naturally fall. But the ultrasonic technology hiding beneath the screen is just as impressive. It will perform a 3D scan of your fingerprint, which allows for more accurate unlocks and a better security compared to competitor fingerprint scanners. It'll even have no problem scanning your finger when the screen is wet or dusty, unlike other optical fingerprint scanners out there. Your phone doesn't even need to have the display on to work either. It can go from standby to unlocked in just about a second or so, as long as you roughly remember where to place your finger. That does take a little bit of getting used to. I also finally found a decent screen protector that works perfectly with the fingerprint reader, so I'll link that in the description below if you're in need of one that's compatible. The second thing I love about the S10 Plus is fast charging 2.0, and that means 12-watt wireless charging. I used to think of wireless charging as a bit of a gimmick because, let's be real, if you're in a real hurry to get your phone back to 100%, just plug it in, it's faster. But as wireless charging speeds increase, it just becomes more and more appealing to have a wireless charger by your bed, at your desk, or basically any place where you'd probably take your phone out of your pocket and put it down somewhere. You might as well just put it on a charging pad. I also find that a good wireless charger on your desk is a million times neater than having a USB-C cable flopping and waggling about all over the place when it's not in use. And yeah, 12 watts isn't the fastest wireless charge out there, but when you consider that iPhones can still only charge wirelessly at 7.5 watts max, charging at 12 watts suddenly sounds and feels a lot faster, don't you think? And there's actually quite a few 12 to 15 watt wireless charging pads available online these days, so you can easily make the most of your smartphone's newfound charging credentials. And usually at anywhere between $20 to $50. So if you're interested in picking one up, make sure you check out my video up here for the 5 best chargers for the S10 and the S10 Plus. The third thing I've loved about the S10 Plus is its battery life and its reverse charging power share feature. Samsung claimed that we'd get all-day battery life or a bit more from the S10 Plus, and with its beastly 4100 mAh battery, it hasn't failed to see me through a day of intensive use yet. On busy days where I haven't even had much of a chance to use my phone, it will still be on 50%, and that's with the always-on display enabled and with the wide Quad HD Plus resolution enabled too. It's definitely a good enough battery life that I wouldn't hesitate to help out a friend in need with the S10's PowerShare function either. In case you didn't know, PowerShare turns your S10 Plus into a big Qi-enabled 4.5 watt charging pad. At first I thought it would just be a bit of a party trick, which it definitely is, but with the battery life to back it up, it actually is an awesome life-saving feature for your tech or someone else's. The fourth thing I love about the S10 Plus is the fact that the Bixby button can finally be remapped to have a secondary function. It really bugged me that you couldn't change the Bixby button to be anything else on the S9 Plus. In fact, the only option you had was to disable the button entirely, so you'd be left with a physical button on a top-of-the-range smartphone that was totally dead. It was so dumb, but fortunately it's no longer the case here. I will give Bixby a little bit of rare credit here for once because it has been improved a lot since I last used it on the S9 Plus, but with that being said, I'm not sure I'll ever use a physical button exclusively for that. So thank you for allowing me to change it to something else, apart from another virtual assistant of course, because you're not allowed to do that. So because of my job, I go on Instagram a billion times a day, and having a button to go straight to Instagram without having to even touch the screen is pretty mind-blowing in terms of streamlining my workflow. So yeah, Thanks Samsung for that one. Last but not least, I love this smartphone's camera with its 12 megapixel regular lens, 12 megapixel optically zoomed telephoto lens, and the new 16 megapixel ultra wide lens. Everyone still says that the Pixel 3's camera is superior, and okay, maybe it is, but I was pleasantly surprised to see that Samsung have actually gone off in a slightly different direction with the camera and added some really cool, unexpected features. Like with the new ultra-wide lens, which gives you the option for a fisheye GoPro-like lens and the capability of squeezing so much of your surrounding environment into one shot with its 123-degree field of view. Couple that with the new Super Steady mode and you've instantly got yourself your own GoPro simulator built into your smartphone. Considering that the GoPro Hero 7's Hyper Smooth is done digitally, not via an actual gimbal, the S10 Plus genuinely isn't half bad when it comes to emulating footage that I actually filmed on a GoPro. Sadly, the S10 Plus can't use Super Steady at 4K like a GoPro can, but still, it's a nice addition that I'll be getting a lot of use out of. So here's the fun part, the 5 things I hate about the S10 Plus. And just remember now that I don't really hate it, it's just stuff that bugged me basically. First of all, the lock button is just too damn high. Coming from the iPhone X, the S10 Plus already felt a little uneasy to hold in one hand, and the lock button does not help matters there at all. I mean, it's not a massive deal breaker, but having to do that awkward slide where my phone slides down my palm to reach the lock button is a guaranteed way to give me a mini heart attack. Fortunately, the Spig and Tough armor case is military grade drop tested, but I don't really want to find out if that's true or not by dropping my phone for real. If you fancy finding that out though, I'll link the case in the description below. Secondly, and this is something that I really do hate now that I think about it, Face Unlock. It's simply not fit for purpose in my opinion, and if it's not fit for purpose, I'd just rather if it didn't exist, especially when this is all about security. I know that sounds a little bit extreme, but if it's not truly secure, enabling Face Lock just kind of feels like enabling a back door into your phone and just praying that nobody realizes. If you didn't know already, you can basically just hold up a photo or a video of yourself to the front-facing camera and it will unlock the S10 Plus every time. I know, it's a joke. Now, I do realise that in most normal circumstances, if you lost your phone on the train or in a coffee shop, nobody's going to have a photo of you to hand and be able to unlock it. But for me, as someone who regularly posts videos of their face online for anyone to see, I think I'll be leaving this feature firmly turned off, thank you. I should also add that it's actually pretty poor in the dark or in low lighting too, and it fails to unlock via your face, so that's one area where Apple has definitely got the upper hand with Face ID's iris scanning and recognition. So the third thing that I hate, the hole punch. And okay, yeah, I definitely don't hate it really compared to the unibrow notch of the iPhone X that I'm used to, but I said I wouldn't sit on the fence here and I'm sticking by that. It's just that when I look at the single camera hole punch on the S10, I just so wish that I had that instead. It just looks so much better. I know it's still there and it's still a hole punch, but it's 50% smaller, 50% less noticeable, 50% less annoying. There's just something about it being circular that makes it more acceptable to my brain, and I notice it less. I mean, especially when you consider that the hole punch is a double whammy purely because of the depth sensor for front-facing portrait selfies, something which I'll probably use less than 10 times in a year. It just makes me want to have the single hole punch even more. The fourth thing that I was really underwhelmed by on the S10 Plus is the camera in low light. Now, to be fair, most smartphone cameras die a slow death when taking photos in low light, but it's one of the few things that hasn't been improved since the S9 Plus, and I'm a little bit disappointed. It just so badly needs a long exposure night mode where it can better balance the shadows contrasted with harsh lighting, but as I said, I personally haven't used a smartphone that's even worth getting out of my pocket in poor lighting conditions yet, and the S10 Plus is certainly no exception. Photos tend to look incredibly soft as the software attempts to really aggressively smooth out the noise, and it often even struggles to focus. It's not a problem limited to the S10 Plus, so hopefully we'll see more improvement on that front in the future. The fifth and final thing I hate about the S10 Plus is that it didn't take that little extra leap in a few specific areas to make it truly mind-blowing. And I feel that's purely because the S10 5G is just around the corner. The 5G model will have 25 watt wired charging, 15 watt wireless charging and a 4500 mAh battery. And whilst the price of the S10 Plus definitely gives you a lot of bang for your buck, I just can't help but feel that Samsung held back in areas where it could have made the S10 Plus even better. So that's the 5 things I loved and hated, but what do I think about the S10 Plus overall? I have to say that the S10 Plus is a great example of exactly how Samsung intend to win the smartphone war, with an insanely long list of features. Granted, some of those features miss the mark occasionally, like Face Unlock, but overall, Samsung totally nails a very long list of new features with every smartphone, and the list only keeps growing. So if you're looking for a smartphone that can do it all, from gaming to action camera style footage, wide-angle photos, reverse wireless charging, and a screen worthy of watching the final series of Game of Thrones on, the S10 Plus has it all and more. Much more. In fact, I can show you a very long list of those things if you would like. So that's it for the 5 things I love and hate about the Samsung Galaxy 10 Plus. Was I too harsh? Too kind? What do you love and hate about it? Let me know in the comments below. I actually really enjoyed doing a review like this, so if you did too, then let me know and I'll happily try and create more videos in future, just like this one. So please give this video a like if it helped you and subscribe for tons more tech reviews. In the comments section today, I'm asking your thoughts on which smartphone has the best camera. I want your opinions, personally, not what you've just read online. I've personally not got my hands on every smartphone out there yet, so I'd love to know what you think so I can check them out. Don't forget to give me a follow on Instagram up here if you like seeing photos of London. I'm actually going to post a few photos I took with the S10 Plus from now on, so if you want to go check that out, head up there and I'll also let you know when my next video is going live. Anyway guys, that's all from me, and until next time, Mark, over and out.